I'm gonna back this up. All right. Welcome back to your favorite comedy finance channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So guys, I wanted to go over my forecast, what I was talking to you guys out, and I felt like it would be easier to kind of illustrate it to you. And I'm going to do it on the whiteboard to give you an idea. Let me just pick this up a little bit more, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. But I was literally about to work out, and I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I told you guys that I was going to do a live stream. So, don't mind my hair, But let's just take a look, okay? Right now, Bitcoin looks like it's going to go to 0. So there's that. But what I do want to go over with you guys today, okay? I'm going to kind of go over here just to make sure everybody is on the same page. You guys know exactly where I'm at, and you know exactly what I'm looking at when it comes to the forecast these next 3 months, because we're going to see major movements as we move into June, July. And then keep in mind, there's no Fed meeting in August. Okay, so keep this in mind too. Okay. Now, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe also. And if you haven't seen us, don't forget we are now on Google and Apple stores. We created our own software. So for those of you that are playing around on all these third-party platforms that are mining your data, selling it off, or for those of you that are trying to build a crypto community out there, and you're tired of getting all your data screenshotted, you're tired of trolls and all the other bullshit, pretty much the cesspool that Discord servers are, make sure that you join us on OddApp, and it's on Apple stores and also on Google stores, okay? And you know what? On Wednesdays, I do my leg days on Monday. I always do it on Monday because I feel like I could get the most out of that pump. I feel like if your legs are recovering after Monday, and then you're doing like your chest, your arms, and everything else throughout the week, I feel like you could do better. But that's not financial advice, okay? That's just gains advice. But let's just take a look real quick to give you guys an idea of where we're at. Okay, I know this is a little bit sloppy, but look, right now we're at a 4.9 inflation rate. Okay. The federal funds rate is at 5.25. So because we have a surplus in rate over inflation over a course of months, and typically you're not going to really get an effect from this for 3 months, which lands in August, okay? Just keep this in mind, all right? We could go, let's say if we do, I think the next Fed meeting was June the 12th to the 13th. So if we go up in rate, let's say, even at 5.5%, keep in mind that the Fed, Congress, Jerome, everyone already said that they want to lift the debt ceiling, that it would be detrimental and all this other stuff. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter if they go this way or they go that way, okay? No matter what they do, it's going to cause more inflation because government strategy never changes. Government strategy is always going to be the same. It's always going to be inflating the debt away because they could leverage the assets they purchase for really cheap and then kick on inflation so that way they could pay off the debt deficit utilizing inflation. Okay, so don't forget that part. But because we have a surplus, even if we were to go to 5.50 by June, okay, let's say even if we went to 5.75% by July, okay, so here's June. Here's July, okay? Even if we're here, even if we go to 5.50 or I'm sorry, 4.50 or 4.25, let's say. I don't think we're going to get there in time anyways, because by June, the debt ceiling needs to be lifted. So whether or not they do an expansion or whether or not they actually lift the debt ceiling by $1.5 trillion, it's going to kick on inflation. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit better. Okay, guys, just kind of stick with me here. If for whatever reason they lift the debt ceiling or they extend the period until October or whatever the case, it's still going to cost an expansion of money. Okay, this is not going to be the inflation rate. We're not going to be anywhere in this area, okay? The dollar, like I kept telling you guys for the last 6 months, I've been talking to you that the dollar was going to be about 101 to 103. Look at where we are. I said 101 to 103 before the end of June. And that's just about where we are. So by June 1st, something needs to happen. They either need to have an extension or they need to expand the monetary system by $1.5 trillion. And I can promise you, well, I can almost promise you anyways, that it'll probably not land on $1.5 trillion. I bet it's going to be 2.2 trillion or 2.3 trillion. That's what I really feel is going to happen, because I've been watching the reverse repo market, and the reverse repo market is really a decent reflection of the money market accounts. Because if you take a look at the money market accounts, or even if you take a look at the bond market, they're providing yield between 4 to 5%. So because they're providing yield for 4 to 5%, it makes sense at this time. It makes sense at this time, okay? Because they're not so much looking to make money, they're looking to hedge their money. So for right now, it makes sense. But when June happens and they expand the monetary system, whether by extension of the debt or whether by expansion of the debt, whatever fits the need for what they need to do, it's going to jumpstart inflation rate. So inflation rate right now is 4.9%. When the debt ceiling kicks on, you can imagine that the inflation rate is probably going to be around 6% plus. I feel like it's going to be even higher than that. I think it'll be higher than that because it needs to be high enough to flush all the people in the money market accounts out. Because the only way people are going to exit the money market account is when inflation becomes so hot that it actually is detrimental to the holdings. Okay, now let's look at the bond market real quick to give you an idea of what I'm seeing, whether you're taking a look at the money market accounts or if you're taking a look at the bond market account, okay? Because regardless, it doesn't matter which way you look at it, you have 4 to 5% yield. You still have a 5% inflation rate. So at this time, you're at a hedge, okay? They're not making money. They're not losing that much money. It's just parked money, okay? What I see happening over the next couple quarters, let's say, or over the next quarter, something is going to flush out all this money, $2.3 trillion, okay? That's what I think is going to get flushed out, okay? The Fed could go to these levels. However, to get here, it costs time. To get here, it costs time. They're already at a time here. So even if they were to get to the 5.50 inflation rate, or I'm sorry, the interest rate, it's already too late because this is the expansion time and inflation is going to kick fire, okay? Now, keep in mind the way they're going to do this. This is kind of how I feel. I feel like too much data could get released if they let inflation run hot too fast, okay? Because I kind of feel like they're going to use August as a cover to wait for the news, because this is the big news that's coming, the new inflation rate, because the new inflation rate is going to be 6% or more. I think it's going to be 6% or more, and they're going to wait to release that news because they haven't released the debt ceiling. When they release the debt ceiling, that's when everything is going to start happening in the background, and they're not going to realize inflation took off wild until they do that debt expansion. After they do the debt expansion, it's going to take 3 months. So chances are, if they do the debt expansion, they could still get this rate right here to show that, oh yeah, inflation's coming down. They lift the debt expansion, okay? It's going to take 3 months for inflation to impact the markets or to impact the reports. So I think by either July, it could be, it could happen in September where we actually get the real number, but it's going to happen between October, September, somewhere in there, where they're going to realize the inflation's too hot and they're going to end up raising the inflation rate target. And the inflation rate target right now is 2%. I feel they're going to bring it to 4%. I don't think they're going to bring it to 3%. I've heard them talk about how it's arbitrary and all this other stuff. They've bounced around or actually said it a couple times at the last Fed conferences where they said, hey, maybe 3% is going to work. And they said, no, we're not even considering it. I don't think it's going to be 3%. I think it's actually going to be 4%. I think 4% is going to be the new inflation target. I'm going to call it now. And I'm going to own that forecast, guys. I've been owning this fucking forecast. Keep in mind, all last year, remember I kept telling you I was going to own the forecast on Japan. I was going to own the forecast on Japan. I was going to own the forecast on the USD. I was going to collapse these other currencies, collapse these different markets, and it happened all 2022. We saw all of that shit happen. So now I'm going to own this forecast right here that they're going to lift the debt ceiling. The reports are going to look good until 3 months after that. After those 3 months come around, you know, that I would say 2 to 3 months, somewhere in there, they're going to get that new inflation report, and then they're going to see that inflation took off. Okay. That is going to be the bull cycle indicator, because this, whenever they release the new report, okay, is exactly when the bull market is going to fucking go parabolic. And the reason why it's going to go parabolic is because inflation is going to be so hot that people that are parking their money in the bonds, people that are parking their money in the money market accounts are going to leave. Because in order for them to leave, the yield, whether you take a look at the bonds, okay, bonds were like 4 to 5%, okay, somewhere give or take, okay. I could look at it like be pinpoint, but just to make it simple, bonds were yielding 4 to 5%. Inflation's at 4.9%. So there's really no reason to leave. They're parking their money, okay. But if inflation gets too hot, it'll flush the market out. And keep in mind, it's already giving us an indicator that the bond market is losing liquidity, because when the bond market is losing liquidity, yields go up. Okay. It works the same way in crypto. When admins, they want to attract liquidity, they provide a higher yield in token percentage. Okay. So it's the same thing with the bond market. When you see the bond market and the yields are going up, that means that they're telling you the bond market needs more liquidity. Therefore, we're offering you more yield. They're selling debt. They're trying to sell debt by offering more yield. And it makes sense right now because no one's losing money. They're not gaining money, but they're not losing money. It's just parked. Same thing with the money market accounts. It's the same shit, okay? They're looking between 4 to 5%, somewhere in there for yields. Same thing with money market accounts, but it'll stay here, okay? It's going to stay here. June, you're going to see that expansion or extension. That's going to be that trigger effect. And a couple months later, it's going to sound like everything's going good. We're going to raise the rate. We're going to raise the rate. Okay, they're raising rate in preparation because this shit's going to take off as soon as they add more money to the system. And there's nothing they could do about it. They have to. They have to. It's going to go a lot higher. Now, if we were to debt default, that is literally even more bullish. Like, I don't really see any other way, because at the end of the day, if you go into default, then you're still going to have a currency crisis. If the bond market goes illiquid, you're still going to have a bond crisis, and then you're going to have a currency crisis afterwards. So no matter what we do, no matter what they say, no matter what bullshit they got going on at Cointelegraph and all these other corrupt bullshit media groups that pay each other, okay, about whatever the fuck they want to say, it doesn't matter. Inflation is going up, and it's going to go up hot, very hot. Last year was deflationary, okay? All the bullshit you heard in the news last year is bullshit, okay? There was inflation in the economy, but there was no inflation in the markets. There was deflation in the markets, and that's why you saw the dollar go 114, okay? Now we're going inflation, okay? They bought all these assets for cheap with strong dollars. Now the dollar is about to break 100 cents. We have probably another 60 days, I would say, at these marks. Another 60 days at max at 101, 103. I think we're going to break 100 cents probably within the next 30 days, I would say. But this is going to be your trigger effect, because the inflation needs to be so hot, okay, that they're going to flush these people out. They're going to flush people out of the money market accounts. They're going to flush people out of the bond market, because it's not going to make sense, guys. It's not going to make sense. It barely makes sense now. If you think about it, it barely makes sense now. If they're telling us 4.9 inflation rate, chances are it's probably 10%. It's probably 9%. Okay. But even if we use their numbers, it doesn't make sense fucking either. Because at 4.9%, and let's say if your yield is roughly 4 to 5%, you're really not making that much money. You're just parking it. Okay. So if we go into a default, if they expand the monetary system, they lift the debt ceiling, they remove the debt ceiling, all of these things are inflationary. We're going to go from fucking, even if we get to 4.5%, if we get to 4.9, 4.5, 4.25 in inflation rate, and they do all these things coming in June, they have a deadline, you're going to see this thing whirlwind. And it's not going to, they're not going to talk about that whirlwind in June. They're not going to talk about that whirlwind in July. There's no Fed meeting in August. So that's their cover. That's their shadow. After that August, and they go to that next meeting, this is going to be the fucking topic. That's going to be the topic, and that's going to be the fucking major indicator for everyone to exit their parked money out. Stable coins will get liquidated, I feel. I think a lot of these stable coins are going to lose a lot of capitalization because stable coins are still a reflection of USD buying power. It's not going to be smart to be there. You're going to be holding the bomb. Okay, remember what I told you guys. Okay, I told you guys right when Bitcoin was around 15,000. Don't be fucking holding the bomb. Don't hold the bomb because you're going to be holding the bombs, waiting for those bottoms, and you're going to be the bottom. You're going down while assets go up. So that's why I keep telling you guys, a lot of the bullshit you guys hear in the sector is fucking nonsense. A lot of this bullshit you hear in the news is fucking nonsense because every investor knows, you know what's funny is a lot of the mainstream investors, they probably won't say this out loud because, you know, it sounds horrible. But it's the truth because unfortunately, you cannot have a bull cycle and you cannot have margins. You cannot have a profitable market without inflation. And inflation is what they're creating, okay? Because government strategies are never going to change. The strategies with government are always going to be to inflate the debt away. It's always going to be to inflate the debt away. Right now, what's happening is the nationalization of the banking sector. But after that, you're going to watch the nationalization of the housing industry. When that happens, this motherfucker's like following me. I must be full of shit. But look, what I'm trying to tell you guys is this is going to be the major indicator. And every investor knows, and they don't like to say it, but inflation is good for the markets, okay? But the governments do the same thing, and you're just trying to play the game because when you're trying to play the game, you have to utilize inflation and deflation to maybe pay off your own debt or maybe to make some money, whatever your reasons may be, but that's what's happening. The government is just got through telling you that they're flooded in debt, and in order for them to pay off that debt deficit or reduce the debt deficit, they don't want to cut spending on anything clearly, as you guys have been noticing with all these people trying to argue about, you know, where to cut this, or they're not cutting shit. They're going to keep spending. But in order for them to pay off massive amounts of the debt deficit, their only solution is to inflate the debt away, you know? So that's what it is, guys. They're leveraging inflation and then using that inflation by raising asset prices, by devaluing the currency. So it's currency manipulation. So we're going to be heading into a currency crisis very soon. And there's a variety of different ways that it could happen, you know, but at the end of the day, the dollar is going down in value and asset prices are going to go up. And the big indicator, like I was saying, just to give you guys a quick overview, I'm going to stop this video in a little bit, but just to give you a quick overview of what I just said, okay, I'm going to keep repeating it till you guys get it, okay? Because this is a forecast that I'm owning. I've been owning it for the last 6 months, okay? This is a new forecast. Last year, it was all about Japan and the bond markets and the currency going up, killing markets, okay? Now, we're going opposite, okay? Interest rates going up is bullish because it's killing off banks, stirring up inflation, it's ruining everything. And eventually, well, now we're going to have an inflationary dollar where it's going to go down in value and asset prices are going to go up, okay? And this could be any asset too, guys. It's not only crypto, it's precious metals, it's real estate, you know, it could be a variety of different things. It could be stocks. So, you know, again, a lot of these investors that are parking their money are going to see inflation get so hot that it's too risky to be parking your money with not enough yield to compensate for the inflation rate. At this time, the yield, whether in the bond market or the money market accounts, they have enough yield to compensate for the inflation rate as of today. As of today, 4.9%, okay? 4.9%, Fed interest rate, 4.25%. and then we could go to 5.50, 5.75. And of course, this is going to be collapsing banks, which is more bullish for the sector anyways. But my point is these rates are going to shadow effect that we're doing the right thing and all this stuff, but it's not going to last. Okay. It's not going to last because I don't know if it's going to happen before August or maybe the month after August, like September. But this new report of inflation is going to be so fucking high. 6% is conservative. It could be a lot higher. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what that will look like, but I do know what's going to start this new market is going to be that next inflation rate. And it's going to happen within the next 3 to 4 months. Okay. The next 3 to 4 months is going to happen. This new inflation rate is not going to be fucking here. It's not going to be here and it's not going to be here. Okay. It's going to be a lot fucking higher, and it's going to be so high that money market account people, bond market people are going to want to dump that shit as fast as possible, which is going to create a bigger currency crisis anyways. But they're going to be leaving those parked situations and going into risk on assets because why? Assets rise with inflation. That's why investors will never tell you. They're never going to tell you. The mainstream people will not tell you. The news won't ever tell you this because it is profits at the sake of the economy. It's profits at the sake of people's lives. Poverty kills people every day. So this is why it's never spoken about as an investor, because an investor, you're trying to leverage what the government does in order to pay off its own dues at the expense of the people. And it sucks. It's a bad thing. That's why typically investors are real quiet about this type of stuff because it could offend people. It can actually offend other people that you're doing well while they're doing bad. And because they're doing bad, you're doing well. Okay. And that's the reason why you're not really going to hear this. But unfortunately, inflation is good for the markets. Without inflation, you cannot have a market. Without manipulation, you cannot have a market. So look, I know it sucks, but you have to play the fucking game. You know, and I don't think it's ever going to go away. In order for the crypto market to have a market, you have to have that. You have to have all these things, you know. So this game that you guys are watching is going to be played for a lot longer than you think, you know. Let me go through your comments real quick. Give me one sec. Fabi says, plebs are fucking weeping. Don't ever forget, Jesus coin is going through the roof. Hex RP says, yo, man, it's leg day. Absolutely, sir. Well, leg day for me is always on Mondays. Maddie C says, the shades and the whiteboard, it's so over. Jesus loves MYC. Absolutely, sir. Who can override the decision to get to 6%? Well, there's no override to get to 6%. The 6% was a representation of inflation rate, okay? And that's just a guess, okay? The current inflation rate is 4.9%. What I'm forecasting is right now, because the inflation rate is 4.9%, it's okay to park your money in the money market accounts and also in the bond market because the yield is roughly 4 to 5%. So people are not losing money. It's less risky and they're hedging. And that's all they're looking for. They're trying to hedge. So the yield, whether you're getting it from the money market account or you're getting it from bonds, is enough to compensate for the inflation rate of 4.9% because the yield is paying 4.5 to 4.81%. So they're not making a lot of money. They're not losing a lot of money, but they're hedged. Okay. However, what's going to flush these markets out to zero, or in the reverse repo markets for sure going to zero. They have $2.3 trillion in it, and once the inflation, this new report comes out, this one, it will get drained out to zero and go on to risk assets. So stock market will kick on, it'll go higher, and then also crypto market will go higher too. But anyways, this inflation rate that I'm forecasting that's going to come, it has to be large enough for investors to flee these other places where they park their money to hedge, because right now they're at break even. Put it that way. Right now they're at break even. So because they're at break even, it's okay to park their money there. So when the inflation rate kicks on and it goes really high, then it's going to flush a lot of these people out because they're going to be losing money both on their yield plus the principal. So because of that, they need to go into risk on assets because with inflation going hot or going hotter, their money can actually grow via inflation holding assets. So that's why I was telling you guys, don't get used to what you're seeing and don't get used to the buying power that you have right now, and utilize the buying power while you got it, because it's not going to last long. Now, I mean, this is a forecast I've been making for a year and a half, but now it's becoming very soon. I'm talking months. I'm seeing months, guys. I'm not talking years anymore. I'm talking months. Okay. This is going to be your final year to accumulate the way you should be. Okay. The deadline is really June. That's the time where you should hurry your ass. But, by the end of this year, minimum is what you need to get done. Okay. And that's not financial advice. We can go to zero by tonight in the next 20 seconds. Okay. But look, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to do it again. Okay. Bonds and money market accounts are paying about 4 to 5%. Your inflation rate right now is 4.9%. The Fed rate right now is 5.25%. If we go to 5.50, let's say by June is the next Fed meeting, the 11th to the 12th. If we go to 5.5%, if we go to 5.75%, do not get shaken out and do not get scared. It's going to get very fucking spooky. But your buying power is going to be good enough for you to capture assets for very cheap prices. But I say, don't get used to this buying power that you got right now. Don't get used to these prices, because it's a reflection of the USD value. And the USD value between the time frames that I'm talking to you about are really going to be roughly 101 to 103 exchange rate for USD. So these shouldn't scare you, because it's going to collapse a few banks or whatever the case, and it's going to be more bullish or whatever anyways, but it's not the effect we're looking for yet. Okay. You're going to go through June, July. I don't know if they're going to cut rates between then. I don't know if they're going to pause rates. I don't know what they'll do between these areas. However, I don't care, because that's not the point. The point is we have a debt ceiling deadline by June. They ran out of time. We're not at 2%. So the inflation target will get raised to 4% is what I'm thinking. Some people say 3 to 4. I say 3 to 4, but 4% is my target. I think that's what it's going to be. But even if we were to get the inflation rate to 4.5 to 4.25, by the time they raise the debt ceiling, whether they do it here, whether they do it here, whether they do it in September or October, or whatever the case, inflation rate's going to whirlwind. So inflation rate is going to whirlwind well past these areas, even if we were to get here to 6% or higher. And it's not who controls the inflation rate. Inflation rate is not controlled by anybody. So, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the inflation rate needs to be high enough, okay, for these people that are parked in money market accounts or parked in the bond market or wherever they're parked, earning yield to just hedge. The inflation rate needs to be so hot that they exit the market. And I believe that report will come to us in September, at the latest, when they actually realize it and disclose it to the public. What I'm telling you is happening these areas, June, July. What I'm talking to you guys about that's already happening in the background is happening June, July. Okay? June, July, it's already happening. But the report that will be disclosed to the public when they say, oh my gosh, inflation just went crazy. We weren't expecting this. August is a shadow. August is the shell to cover up what's happening. But the next report, okay? The next report will be so high that they're going to need to disclose the heightened inflation rate. And because of that heightened inflation rate, the bond investors and the money market accounts, they're going to exit their caves, because inflation will be so hot that it would be detrimental to their holdings to leave it in the bond market or to leave it in the money market accounts, because inflation will supersede the yield being provided to them by the bond market or by the money market accounts. You guys catch what I'm saying now? When inflation rate supersedes the yield, that's when those investors are forced to exit those places and go into risk on assets. Why? Because assets rise with inflation, and we're going to get that report probably September. September is the day. That's the month. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm going to own this forecast, and we're going to see what happens. Okay? But this is my forecast. I'm going to keep telling you guys till you guys get it. But keep in mind, if right now, if the inflation rate is 4.9%, even if it goes to 4.5%, even if it goes to 4%, it won't matter, because by the time they raise that debt ceiling, It's not going to be 4%. It's not going to be 4.5%. It's not going to be 5%. It's going to be 6, 7%. It could be even higher. But they're going to disclose that after the fact that it's already done. And it's too late. And a lot of these people that are parked are not going to be able to get out. The money market account is not fully safe. There's no FDIC insurance. And whoever gets stuck in there, the door is not as big on the way out as the way in. Okay. They cannot flood or flush out all their money all at once when you're in the money market account. There's caps, there's capital controls. This is going to be a problem. It's going to be a major problem, but it's going to fucking make markets go through the roof. Stock market, crypto market, precious metals market, everything. Because inflation is going to rise all assets. Okay. That's the grand scheme of things. If you guys have any questions, join us on OddApp. It's available now on Apple and Google stores. It's $23 USD a month. It supports the app, guys. It's fully subscriber supported. Okay. A lot of these apps are only free because they're mining your data and they're selling your shit off. Okay. We don't do that. Okay. It's fully subscriber sustained. And the fact that we've been running for this long shows me that the market has a demand for people like us. Okay. So keep supporting us, keep supporting our development, keep supporting our software, guys. It's not a Mickey Mouse app. It's a real app. It has AES 256 military grade encryption. There's no screenshots that can be taken. It's strictly crypto community communications. And the reason why I did it like that is because you shouldn't be getting DMs from random people. You shouldn't be getting DMs from fucking robots. Okay. There's 100% humans on OddApp. All right. It's strictly community communications. And the reason why I did this is because when I had Discord and Telegram, people are always sending me DMs and all that stuff. And that's not good because how many questions I can answer? Sometimes I answer the same question 10 times. So I like putting all the data in one place. There's transparency like that for everybody. And if I'm answering a question or reviewing something, everybody gets to see it, not just me and the other person. Okay, so that is better for everybody. It reduces admins. For those of you that are admins, for those of you that are CEOs building crypto communities, that solves a lot of your problems because it's going to reduce a lot of your admin workload from answering a bunch of DMs. You can answer everything in one spot, one thread. Okay. That also helps community members understand and know that you're not DMing insider information, or you're not DMing information that they didn't get to see, or they're not, everything's in one spot. So that's more transparent for them. So when I created OddApp, I wanted it to be something that could be for crypto communities on both ends, for administrators and also for crypto community members. Okay. And because a lot of that stuff could be skewed and misrepresented and all sorts of stupid things, I've solved that problem by creating and structuring OddApp the way I did, because I wanted to make sure that we could make it as transparent as possible for community members, but also to reduce the workload on administrators. So I think a lot of people are not thinking outside the box on that particular end. Okay. We're going to be getting new communities soon. We have an NFT artist that he has about 2,000 members, and he's going to be bringing his people onto OddApp soon. I'm going to schedule a meeting with him and all that stuff. We're supposed to do that sometime this month. Okay. So OddApp is going to be exponentially getting larger. Okay. We just upgraded a US based server. So speeds and connections have greatly been enhanced. I'm still going to be doing more back-end work to enhance the speed and performance. But that's just a quick update for you guys on OddApp. Okay. Let me go through the rest of your comments. Mark says, finally, right on time for life-changing education. Absolutely, sir. Daniel says, plebs will fucking weep and repent for Jesus. Absolutely. Crypto Jake says, Dion, are you still bullish on BLZ? Yes, I am. And where can you swap it back to ERC20? You should have did that on Frontier, but I think now you don't really need to. I think it's interoperable with Kepler now. So I think you can. I would do a test send, but you can now send your ERC20 directly to Kepler, and it's already properly integrated to take your BLZ without the conversion. You can just send it there and then swap in and out between Osmosis and other Cosmos coins and all that stuff. But yes, I'm very bullish on. That's another thing, guys. Look, we went through a bear cycle together. Okay, all the plays that we've been talking about are still active plays. A lot of you fucking forgot what it's like to fucking go through the tribulations of holding for a long ass time. And a lot of you didn't make it, okay? A lot of people didn't make it because you guys forgot what it's really like. For those of you that just met me or just met MYC for late 2021 out of nowhere at the tail end of a bull cycle, that shit is fucking over. Okay. It's a whole nother strategy. It's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother type of ideology. Okay. You could be in a hurry and you could, really want to take profits as fast as possible within a couple months or few months or whatever, when it's a bull cycle and shit like that, or maybe at the tail end of a bull cycle, maybe. But we're at the beginning of a brand new bull cycle from the beginning going forward. Okay. And a lot of people met me or met MYC or knew or found out about MYC last quarter of 21. Okay. You guys experienced a tail end of a bull cycle. Okay. That's not the way shit is all the time. Okay. So going through 2022, yeah, we're buying bottoms. We're buying a lot of bottoms. All these plays we talk about, they're still active plays. In fact, Bluezo BLZ was the top performer of 2022 out of every single Cosmos coin ever talked about. Okay. Bluezo, in the midst of a bear cycle, in the midst of Luna collapsing, in the midst of FTX, did 4 2Xs and then 2 3Xs within a 6-month time span. Okay. It's a very good coin. I like that coin. I'm still bullish on it. So, my favorite picks right now is ArcBlock ABT, 186 million coin cap. I like Bluezo BLZ, 500 million coin cap. I like Jasmy, whatever you want to call it. 70% supposed to be locked up Q4, supposedly. We'll see what happens. I don't really care. I was bullish on it before I knew that, but, apparently it's happening and it's supposed to go deflationary. So I think it'll do really well. Am I hoping for dollars? No, I'm thinking 30, 40 cents. Whenever I'm going into a large cap, I'm only going to enter a large cap if I got in at the decimals. If it's already over 10 pennies, I'm too late. If it's under 10 pennies max, then I'm okay with that. That's okay. If it's a small cap, and it better be a good company, guys. I don't just pick coins just because, they're just, whatever. I really want to make sure it's a good project, a good company. It has a business model, it has a bunch of different things, okay? It's not just about the cap. There's good large caps. There's good small caps. For the small caps, as long as I'm getting in under $1, that is a good deal to me, because the small caps are not supposed to be in the pennies. Okay, they're dollar type coins. Do I like small caps if it's in the decimals? No, I don't. I don't like that because it's too volatile. It's too risky, and it hasn't proven itself yet. So I like to get into small caps when they're at least in the pennies or under $1. Okay. But yes, my 5 picks: ArcBlock ABT, Jasmine, Bluezo, Parsec, PRQ. Okay. I like Dragon Chain. Dragon Chain is a huge one for me. Okay. US regulations is going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. And I'd rather be sitting in a potential 300 to 500x than only getting 2x per dollar on XRP. Okay. These coins, Library Coin, XRP, Dragon Chain, a lot of these companies that got scrutiny for fucking no reason are going to explode. Okay. I think American companies are going to explode, to be honest with you. To be really honest with you, I believe American companies are going to fucking explode when the time comes. Walter says, win Lambo. Do you recommend DCA heavy in the next 69 days? Yeah, absolutely. Guys, the year of 2023, you should have been fucking... By June, you should be done. If you're not done by June, you have till the end of this year to get shit done. If you've been fucking around the last 6 months and you don't have steady, solid bags, I don't even know what to tell you. Okay, you've been wasting your time. You need to really get prepared. There's in real life, we've collected for a year to 2 years before anything happens. That's normal life. Okay, for those of you that just came in because you bandwagon hopped in to crypto because it was late 2021, I have really bad news for you. That's not the way it works. A lot of us went through tribulations of holding and losing money or going down in value and still buying more. Okay. It's not fucking luck and it's not fast money. Okay. This fucking takes a long time. You still need to produce income. You cannot live off the market. Okay. Unless you want to really fuck yourself at some point, some way, somehow. After maybe 100 good trades, you're going to get fucked on that last trade. If you're leverage trading, if you're short-term trading, a lot of those things eventually don't work out. Okay. I'm a long-term trader. I want to hold something for a long ass time and not worry about it, not watch charts all the time. I want to just buy my shit and I'll come back later when the time comes. The considerations for me have to be mid to late 2024 to mid 2025, period. Okay. I don't care if we do a 2x. And again, we've already seen a lot of our picks, 3x, 2x, 5x, whatever. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not here for that shit. Okay. If you're going to be collecting positions, you'd be looking at things at short-term gains and long-term capital gains tax. So if you're doing that, then you should be taking a look at, have I been in this for more than 8 to 12 months? No? Okay. Well, you're still not done stacking. You're still not, you're still not ready yet. So to be honest with you guys, I think a lot of people either forgot what it's really like or they just don't have the experience. Okay. A lot of volumes are going to be down on centralized exchanges right now because smart people are buying assets and they're shipping their assets off of these exchanges into their cold storage. Okay. I've been talking to people about Ledger for a long time. I like Ledger. It's okay. They've just got into some drama recently, but I don't hold all my money in Ledger anyways. I got 3 ledgers. I got little dust pieces here and there and stuff like that. But the majority of my stuff, Ngrave.io. Ngrave.io. N as in Nancy, grave.io. That is the coldest cold storage wallet you could get. It's colder than my heart. That's how cold it is. Actually, it's almost as cold as my heart. So, guys, if you're playing with over 100 grand, don't be fucking around with Ledger, okay? If you're holding over 100 grand, you should be fucking with Ngrave.io. It's a $500 fucking cold storage wallet, and it's worth it. I like it. The customer support is awesome. I don't get fucking data leaks. I don't get advertisements and all this other dumb shit. I get a cold storage wallet, and that's all I want, okay? So for those of you that are playing around with over 10K, 20K, 50K, 80K, 100K, for damn sure, if you're over 100K, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with Ledger. But that's just to, for any of our whales that are out there, do not be fucking around. The last thing I fucking need is any of our network wealth going down before the bull cycle. Okay. See, a lot of people, when you guys listen to these crypto kids out there, it's all about picks and this and that. Guys, look, we have a real network. Okay. I'm not here for a fucking audience. I built a network. We're building a network and we're going to continue expanding it. And we have our own shit, our own software, our own platform. A lot of these guys, and look, guys, everyone starts somewhere, and I want you guys to decentralize too. But at the end of the day, I hear a lot of shit talking from a lot of these different communities out there, and you know who you are, okay? Talking shit from a third-party platform when you've built fucking zero, okay? MYC community has built from the ground level up with patriots from the fucking ground level up, real viable software. And if you think I'm full of shit, why don't you pick out your phone and fucking look us up, ODD, ODD app, and you can find us on Apple or Google stores. And then you let me know if you're full of shit or if I'm full of shit because we build real shit here. So guys, look, we don't just do things or we don't just have things because we suck. We don't just have things or we don't just have historical trades and historical software for fucking sucking in the market. Clearly, we're doing something right. So give MYC community the credit where the credit is due. I love my members. I love our people, our networkers. I love our admins out there, our CEOs. I know they're out there busting their ass. So, forgive me for swinging my nuts around. Forgive me for swinging our nuts around a little bit. But I really give a fuck about our people. And when I hear people saying stupid shit on a third-party platform, it fucking enrages me because I know that our people are real. Okay? We're not here to sensationalize these videos, guys. We're here just to educate, and we're here to get our people to our software, congregate in a private secure place, and then share with each other because MYC is not do everything Dion does. MYC is a community. Okay, we have a bunch of different people, a bunch of different content creators. We got CEOs from Coinbase on there. Robert Mao from ArcBlock is a subscriber. We got Joey from Dragon Chain. He's a subscriber on there. We got Byte Storage. We got a lot of different CEOs and developers on there. So, guys, MYCNetwork.io. I just want to tell you guys, it's not just about Dion. So you can hate me, but by the way, I told you guys about Hex. I told you guys about Hex for the longest. In fact, when I was talking to all the gurus, I told them the same shit. Only 2 of those gurus were being real. But the rest of them, they weren't being that real. They were maybe in Kool-Aid. Okay, I'm not going to say they're not being real, but they're a little bit too much in Kool-Aid. They don't know how everything really works. Okay, when you're having a migration, EHEX is going to 0. It's already down 60% or 80%, some shit like that. Okay, or 60%, and it's going to continue to go down to 0. So if you're a hex person, okay, and you're holding hex, ehex, and you're waiting to take profits, you're waiting for a payday, take it now. Because if you wait, you're going to lose all your money, and proof of wait is going to become a proof of a longer wait. And I keep telling you guys this, and nobody fucking listens. You know, I get really upset for you guys because I want people to do well. And I tell you ahead of time, and I still see you guys get fucked. So guys, look, when you have a migration, it don't matter what the fucking brand is. Okay, I don't talk shit on something because of a brand. It's the process. It's the process of a migration. So if that happens and you hear the admin whisper about a migration, you get the fuck out of there ASAP, period. Don't be fucking over here. No, I really like that guy. No, it's the process. I don't care what brand it is. It's the process. Liquidity gets transferred from one chain to the next. 2 chains, I don't give a fuck if the admin is sitting there saying that they're interoperable. No 2 blockchains in the history of all mankind do not interconnect. There is no interoperability between 2 blockchains. You have to transfer the liquidity one place and transfer it to the next. There is no fucking, you can have a bridge, 2 spots, bridge backend, and it's not interoperable. You are transferring one spot to this spot and extracting and putting it to this spot, okay? There's no intertwining between 2 different blockchain networks. It doesn't happen like that, okay? So it's not to fucking fudge you. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm going to be buying Pulse. I made a lot of money on Hex. I did really well with it. I'm going to do good with this next ecosystem. Buying at the bottom, I'm going to wait a little bit. It's clearly a fuck show right now, but I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to get some. I'm going to get my bottoms or whatever. I'm going to hold for 2-3 years and call it a day. But for those of you that are wanting profit now, whether it be on Pulse or whether it be on Hex, you're wrong. I'm telling you, eHex is going to 0, and anything Pulse, you cannot get, there's 0 liquidity. The guy fucking took billions of dollars and started this whole ecosystem with fucking 0 liquidity. So, and then what's worse is he expects eHex community, which is only one community, to distribute that liquidity to the next ecosystem between 3 coins that are large ass fucking token caps. Guys, there is no price parity. You are not going to be even fucking close. Hex is like an 800 billion coin cap. These tokens that he minted, they're in the trillions. A lot of you guys are in for a very rude awakening. I'm fucking telling you guys. But look, just want to tell you guys, look, I want people to do good. All right. I'm cool with the community. We got community members, Dave and Joe. A lot of people love having it, whatever, but I still want to make sure that people don't get wrecked. Okay. So sometimes the truth, whether when I'm calling a top or I'm calling a bottom, some people don't like that about me, but I'm going to fucking tell you. So there's that. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Walder, do you think ABT could reach $20 in the next bull run? Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, look, ArcBlock is a competitor of Cosmos and DOT. Cosmos and DOT print tokens to infinity. Okay. ArcBlock has better technology, is in the same market share. It has 186 million coin cap. Okay. And it doesn't print tokens. Okay. You could code in any language. You could code in JavaScript, Python, Rust, Go, all that stuff. You can code in anything you want. Cosmos and DOT, you got 2 coding languages. That's it. You only got 2 coding languages, and then the admins of the layer 0 are printing tokens. So it's not sustainable. I don't care what anybody says. It's not sustainable. Is it a good technology? Yeah, but the problem is it's not sustainable. And that's where ArcBlock is going to come in, because it has products, it has services to sustain the tokenomics at the same time having a fixed coin supply. So I like it a lot. So again, ArcBlock, BlueZill, Jasmine, Dragon Chain, and Parsec PRQ are what my favorites are. And guys, look, for those of you that are on OddApp, don't forget, you could go to the pin section on OddApp. You go to the top left-hand corner, you click the icon, okay? And in the pin section, There's a bunch of picks that we've already, had on a radar. You do your research on them, but there's over 100 picks in there that you guys could choose from or take a look at, stuff like that. I can't get every good company out there, guys. I chose my 5. I'm sticking to my 5. Been hearing Fed now trying to launch in June, July. Yep, it could make sense. Yep. I think we are lucky to be here at the bear market. Exactly. A lot of people forgot what this is like. People wait too long, get in, 90% lose their money because they only go in during the bandwagon. Yeah, absolutely. In 2022, we said 2023. When is ABT going to be discovered by the world? Well, it's already being discovered. It's on Coinbase and everyone's talking about it. There's interviews happening. There's conferences happening. Robert just went on another conference that's going to be, he's sponsored by My Data. I would do your research on it, guys. Look, if you're going to hold something, it doesn't matter what pick it is. It could be ARC, it could be anything. And you're wondering where's marketing and where's this, like, shut the fuck up. Do your own research and go look at what's going on, because sometimes it's so in your face what they're doing. It's so in your face that Robert's working. And you're like, well, the price isn't moving, so clearly nothing's going on. Like, guys, Facebook started in 2004, and it became a unicorn company after 10 years, okay? ArcBlock started in 2017. It's now 5 years later. Now we're at that growth stage, okay? When you're taking a look at startups or projects, guys, a lot of these projects, including Amazon, okay, like let's say Amazon is a good example, was a startup at one point. It took 10, 20 years to get to where it's at now. So a lot of you guys are clearly watching too many fucking Mickey Mouse kids to not understand the way businesses grow. It takes a long time for these things to grow. However, with this bull cycle coming around, I do think that ArcBlock can do some heavy ass numbers. I mean, you think about it, at 1 billion of a market cap, it could hit $10, but that's a bet you have to play yourself. I like ArcBlock. I've been a holder of it for over 8 months now. I think my first entry in it was August of last year, actually. So however long that is, okay? Do you hear me bitching and moaning? I fucking interview the guy. You think I should, if you feel like you got a reason to bitch about something, you think I should be bitching about it since I'm the one fucking interviewing him or fucking doing this and that? Like, guys, not to rag on you, but you have to take responsibility to at least, pay attention to what you hold, okay? Because what if I'm fucking busy? What if I'm busy doing something else? And, Robert comes out talking like, yeah, we're going to migrate or something. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get with it, guys. Look, the format of the way I do videos, it's a little bit different, okay? It's not like I talk to you, okay? It's not like fucking, you're watching the media news like you're watching fucking BitBoy or these other fucking crypto kids, okay? Completely different. When you're here, it's like a class, okay? And that's the benefit. It's like virtual reality type of thing. So don't take it personal. I'm going to rag on some of you because some of you guys need to wake the fuck up. If you're used to being babysat, this is not the right place. I promise you. But it is being discovered, and DID wallet is a first to market technology. It's the only wallet that's W3C certified by CERN. The regulators of the internet are backing DID wallet, which is done by ArcBlock. That's, if the regulators of the internet like it, I'm going to hold a bag of it. Is it my only bag? No, but I have a ton of other bags, as in 5. J7, will most coins generally pass their all-time high? No. Don't ever think that. And you could look at it that way sometimes, but I don't think you should, because that's not really true, because some coins never hit their all-time high ever again, so don't ever have yourself, hostage. Gas is too high to get Jesus coins. Well, you could do it on wrapped ETH. You could do it that way. Man, this fly is like a bitch. I'm in my garage, so this is like my other studio. I have 3 studios, so like whenever I'm doing the whiteboard lessons, I got to go in my garage. And, Can LCX get some love? Yeah, absolutely. LCX is very close to tokenizing stocks. I think that they have a better chance. I'm $3.50 max on that. $3.50 max on that. I think $1.50 should be considerations. But I don't think it'll be a dollar token. I think LCX is a good play. And guys, look, we don't see on MYC channel, we don't spend a whole video talking about one pick, and we don't do a bunch of videos. So like, if you guys have something that you want brought up, just put it in the comment section. I'll bring it up, give you my idea of it. But if you want like real to the pulse data, you know, just be on ODAP. You know, if you ask me a question, I'll talk about it there and what have you. Walder says 2024 will be faster than you think. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, look, nothing is worth considerations when it comes to profits until probably late 2024, mid to maybe late 2025, depending on what's going on. Okay, so like we're still a very long way away. But that's the point of a bear cycle, guys. You have to kind of get into it before all that. I don't think I like Mina. I remember I looked at that at one point, but I wasn't impressed. I'll have to relook at it. Walder, for the average person, it takes a year to get big bags of different coins. Well, exactly. You should be doing that. Guys, like this is why I keep telling you, keep producing income, you know, because you could keep stacking your bags. That's the point. You're not going to make your bag in a week. You're not going to make your full bag in 2 months. You know, you have to continue stacking. Like that's the point. Like guys, the longer you are accumulating, the better it'll be for you in the long run. That's the point. You're supposed to allow time to appreciate your bag amount and then also to appreciate the value. So, you know, it's not so much about like, I don't know. It's not so much about like trying to collect as fast as you can. And then you're like, okay, I'm done. You know, like you just keep collecting. Okay. And of course, once you feel like you're good on a bag, you may start another bag. You know, if it takes you a year, if it takes you 2 years, then perfect. That's fine. That's okay, guys. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. We're in a bear cycle still. You know, we have the beginning phases of the brand new bull cycle, but like we're still some ways away. I still say that this is the full year of accumulation. Don't be impatient, guys. Look, the impatience only tells me you're relying on the market. Impatience only tells me that you're not producing income. Go back to work, produce income. Okay. People that stack their 401ks, guys, they're still going to work. So try to have that expectations. I don't want you guys to have false expectations. Okay. So I'm going to be a little bit honest with you guys. Yes, Walder, Hex and Pulse is a capital interest split. That's correct, sir. And they're splitting it 3 different ways. Imagine that. Joe says, one woman, can I use 4 ARC L? I don't know what that means. What wallet can I store my ARC block in? You could store it on any ETH wallet you have. Any ETH wallet on Ledger, Engrave, DID wallet, MetaMask. You could pretty much keep it anywhere you want. Any type of ETH wallet. I like mine's on engrave.io. You could put it in DID wallet if you want. A 0. I've heard about it, but I don't remember enough about it to talk about it. Dan says, don't be in a rush. Yeah, absolutely. You'll get thrush. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the point, guys. You have to take your time. Like DCA, and just kind of go based on you. Everyone has a different wealth level, and everyone is here early enough where you could collect for a year and still be early, guys. Like nothing's happening yet. We're still in that moment where it's like, yes, we know it's here. We know it's coming, but we're still in the year of accumulation. So just take your time with yourself. And again, even once we break 2024, you're still not in the area yet. Like halving doesn't really affect the market until mid 2024. You're not going to get your major peaks probably till mid to late 2025. I mean, that's how far we are. So, you know, again, take your time and keep your pulse to the market though. If you're collecting a bag on a particular project, stay up to date on what you're holding because things change. Something could change overnight. But this is why I have ODAP. If you guys want to stick to the pulse and you don't want to wait for my videos, ODAP. ODAP is there. ODAP. Okay? And don't fucking tell me it's too expensive. It's 23 USD. Guys, we used to charge fucking in bear cycles, we were charging like $500. And then like fucking bull cycles was like thousands. So, you know, we wanted to make it more affordable to run with us. We wanted to make it more affordable for people on the ground level to be able to afford MYC so you guys could be with us and it's not going to break the bank. That was the whole point, guys. We wanted to create a place that for us, for people like us, but also a place that's affordable. Okay. And right now we have 400 people now growing, and it's only been out a few months. So, clearly there's a demand, so guys, look, if you like what we do and you're watching us, clearly you're here for a reason. A fluctuation in the crypto market is like $200, $300, $400, $500, $800. Sometimes the fluctuation in the market could be thousands for some of our whales. And you're going to talk to me about 23 USD? Come on. So guys, I'm trying to tell you, just stick to the protocols and just kind of like, I have Twitter too. If you can afford odd app, I got my Twitter. I talk shit on Twitter too, so I got my Twitter, MYC_odd_app or MYC_network. I got that one too. So you could stay up to the pulse at some point, and you guys could always ask me a question or whatever. I'm trying to be here for you guys as much as I can. But if you want the pulse, odd app, that's where you're going to find me. I work 24/7 on odd app. This is what I do for a living, guys. I work MYC. Brian, I think Jesus Coin is a rush. Jesus Coin is fucking exploding. It's going to go viral. I hope it does. I really do. I really want it to go viral. If there's any coin that should have went viral, should have been fucking Jesus Christ. We need him now more than ever, this country. So, I think the fact that we could talk about Jesus is the best, because why should we have to talk about a fucking frog? Everyone was late to it, but Jesus is, a few weeks old or whatever. It's a meme coin, At first, I only threw $100 in, but I saw it's doing good, so I was like, well, I'm gonna throw some more just to fuck around. I'm just messing around. I like it. I'm making money on it now, but at least it's fun, and then like every day, people are talking about Jesus Christ. I think it's a great guys. I'd rather be talking about Jesus Christ every day than like poo coin, I think I like it. I like the idea of it. So I think I think the message, I think there's a bigger message happening. That's what I think. So that's kind of why I like it. Am I saying to go balls deep in this thing? No, it's a meme coin, guys. Let's relax. Okay. My main 5 plays are my main 5 plays, so if I wanted to play with a meme coin because it's meme season, I guess I'll play with a meme coin. So far it's doing good, but I think Jesus Christ is king, and we have to really get his name out there. We're about to go into politics. We're about to go into political season, and I think that this country needs God, and I think it needs soldiers that are not afraid to talk about it. The truth is a divisive sword, and we're unfortunately in a world right now that you're silenced for anything. Guys, we were banned off Twitter for over 2 years. We were banned off of YouTube for over a year. Okay. So the fact that we could still succeed, I feel like we're anointed. I think that our community is blessed. And guys, we were banned everywhere. We were working pretty much offline. And for us to be able to do great enough to have our own app, to have our own stuff, and be this successful still without all the bullshit, I think we're blessed. So, when I saw the opportunity to talk about Jesus, I'm jumping in. The Crypto Arc says Jesus is liberating us from red candles. Yeah, absolutely. That is true. No, I've rugged everything. I'm completely out on solo. I've had enough. I really was trying. I was trying Q4 again in 2021. But after seeing that whale or that admin wallet stop a 2-top precisely, they're full of shit, and I don't like them. So I'm not going to play with that coin anymore. I don't want them, and I think solo is just a bullshit thing now. The reason why is because, the admin basically, their plan is to just launch more coins, and that's has nothing to do with the mission. And then now they got core and X-core and fucking all this other dumb shit going on. I'm surprised the community is so fucking stupid that they don't realize what the fuck is going on. So eventually they're going to get it. But I'm not participating in that coin ever again. I'm done. If I was, I would have got these bottoms already. You would have not seen them. But because I already know that these guys are pieces of shit, I don't want to play with them no more. I don't believe in that team. We never got no red glow stick parties either, by the way. We got 0 red glow stick parties. Okay. And, you know, Walter says, I'm eating those bottoms like groceries. How many coins do you need to be a BLZ millionaire? I don't know. I don't know. I think BLZ could do $5-10. I do think Parsec could do $8 to $12 max. I do think 3 to 5 is simple. It did break $2 first cycle, and it's a really good company emerging. We bought that when it was just on a DEX. NC says, wait for the God candles. Absolutely. Ace Killjoy says, oh man, I'm late. Catching the live at work. NC says, do your own research, take responsibility. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not bullish on EQ anymore, sadly. I just, I want to be. I'm just really upset, with XRPO. I think the XRPO kids are too brainwashed to understand that L2s could be stores of value. And because the education is not up to par on the XRPO community, I'd rather not play around with any XRPO coins. They suck. Because the admins, they always end up migrating out of there because they see how they're mistreated. And then, on top of that, the XRP kids think the L1 has more value than the L2, and that's another problem. So it's like, dude, if you're not using L1 and L2 as a store of value, the whole ecosystem is going to stay stagnant. You're going to keep getting those up and downs. You're not going to get real scalable. It is scaling, but it's like it could have scaled far greater by now if the community was more educated, but they're just not. They pretend to be, but they're not. Walter says Christ is king. He certainly is, sir. But yeah, guys, look, I'm excited about what's going on. But like this, if you guys just came in, whatever, just please make sure take a look at the first 30 minutes of this video. We went over my forecast on what I think is going on between now and the next 3 to 4 months. So definitely pay attention, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to work out now. Make sure you guys stay out there and keep doing good. And I'm just excited, guys. I like the 5 projects that I'm into, and I'm very excited about Jesus coin. I like that coin a lot. It's just a reason to talk about Christ. Do I have a big holdings in it? No, absolutely not. But I get to talk about God every day, and I think that's awesome because, for someone like me, I work 24/7 in the crypto sector. So to work 24/7 here and kind of make it a digital church in a way, I like it. It makes me feel good. Walter says, I'm glad you showed me ABT, BLZ, and Parsec. I got out of Solo back when it was 40 cents. Yeah, absolutely. Us too. But that's the point, we want to make the money, but at the same time, it's like if the admins aren't doing what they're supposed to do, there's no point. We could have that time when it hit that double top, it should have went way further both times, and they stopped it deliberately. And they have bigger admin wallets than they pretend. That is not a fully distributed ecosystem. I truly doubt it. So we don't play with it. If it was truly distributed, they would have never stopped scale. Any real investor, any real trader would have let that shit scale, and they didn't. So for a fact, that was bullshit. So I'm out on them. But again, guys, I will catch you on the next one. I hope you liked this video. I hope I explained it the best way I can. I'm going to own this forecast. I'm going to own it. I owned the last one. We were very accurate on last year's forecast, and this year we're hitting the fucking target a lot. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure if you're not on OddApp to get your ass on OddApp. I will catch you guys on the next one.